Governor Soludo inspects ongoing waste evacuation exercise in Onitsha, Ogbaro. Awulu Brothers buy House of Representatives forms for Chief Ekwozo. FAN apologizes for power outage at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Israeli forces kill 3 Palestinians in West Bank clash. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News on ABS Television. My name is Priska Wonko. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has inspected the ongoing waste evacuation and drainage desilting exercise, which commenced yesterday, 2nd of April 2022 in Onitsha. The governor began inspection from Opiweka through Iweka Road to Ochanja roundabout. He also visited Obuko in Ogbaro local government area. ABS Government House correspondent Valentine Mbadoha filed on this report.
Addressing the residents of the areas, Governor Soludo reiterated his resolve to build a more livable homeland and urged the Anambra to avoid dumping waste in the drainage system. Governor Soludo also emphasized on the need to end the Monday sit at home, which he said has affected the people negatively, and reassured his commitment towards the release of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra.
I get Bolia, Camilina Gia, Manonio Bonawali for Gallo. Ndozo Epotanya, a Posse will live in a Ponyani Megota. Opunania Makiwunia, Ipochia, Onyabonamuna and the Mado. Malaria Neme, War, Manoga Posse, Ipochasiana. I get them where arrange and they gonna put here every day and so on, and they clean here. I got support if I wanna call okay release there on your fatty. I know again I get release here. The Madogane, ne Javia, ne Java. I am ne Pepele, ne Gigi. But I'm the buyer making a message or Gapota.
A businessman in Onitsha, Chief Nwabeze commended the governor for his activeness and urged him not to relent in his efforts in making Anambra a better place. He noted that healthy environment is key to building a sustainable megacity and advised the people to support the governor by being law-abiding.
And this evacuation of this refuse goes see now here to go to Bible health. And Otu will be done a health, Omaka. Otu will be done a health, Omaka. And Inaya is a working governor on ever. Everybody happy. Everybody in the Kitana Gaga. What about your support also Nudo?
The Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, Honorable Ucho Kafo, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mayor Ernest Ezaji, the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solochu Kulobelo, and the Deputy Chief of Staff and Chief Protocol to the Governor, Mr. Chinedumoye, also joined the inspection. Intensive waste evacuation was seen ongoing at all the places visited, as the exercise is meant to last till Monday, 4th April 2022, while shops were all locked in compliance to the cleanup exercise. From Onitsha, Valentine Badwa reporting for ABS News.
It was all jubilation as waste evacuation and drainage desilting exercise commenced in Onitsha. Residents of the area all hailed Governor Chukwuma Soludo as they tripped out to participate in the exercise. Again, Government House correspondent Valentine Badwa has the details.
Speaking to the ABS at Opiweka, Mr. Bamiyi and Mr. Stephen Aja lauded the initiative and commended Governor Soludo for his humility and visionary leadership. They assured of their total support to the exercise in order to yield the desired results.
I'm happy with what Soludo is doing today. This place is so rough and dirty, but with the cleanness of what is happening today, we are so glad and happy. That is why we are out to ensure that this gutter or whatever should be cleaned off immediately.
Here for Tata Gosida, no Chicha Kenya and Anambra State. Bonye wetulu onwe ya ana. Iwe cho office to onye na church, mputara no we na akpayare n'ụzọ, wetu onwe dịka obere mmadụ. ka o wee fụ ma ndị ọ na-achị ma ebe ha nọ ma ọ dịkwa mma ma ụzọ ha dị ha dịkwa ezigbo ndụ maka ahụike ịdị ọcha na-eweta ezigbo ahụike.
For Mrs. Florence Ezanyi and Cecilia Okafocha, who joined the exercise, what Governor Soludo is doing will give Anambra a new look. They noted that Professor Soludo is the governor Anambra needs at a time like this and prayed God to give him the strength, wisdom and courage to achieve his mission for the state. They further assured to be law-abiding with regards to the waste disposal.
na gọvanọ abụ ezigbo gọvanọ anyị nwe Chineke olile anyị nwe and anyị ma na ọ ga-emeri anyị Chineke ga-agọzi ya okpere m na-ekpere ya bụ na ọ ga-achịchịkwa ọzọ
sọ Paulina ekpere na-ekpere ewu ogologo ndụ na-arụ isi ike nwa jeneratọ n'ofu nke ịbụọ nke ịtọ na ọ ya achịgide anyị until amen ajọ mmadụ anyị rabịa n'aha Jizọs.
The people who gathered continued to sing solidarity songs for the governor as he continued with the inspection. From Onitsha, Valentine Mbadwa reporting, Fabius News.
Awolo Brothers Abuja branch has purchased All Progressives Grand Alliance ABGA expression of interest and nomination forms worth 7 million naira for Chief Azubike Ekwozo. Chief Ekwozo is an aspirant for the Awka North and South Federal Constituency. Ekwi Ajide, our correspondent from the Abuja Bureau, filed this report taken from here.
Awolo Brothers, who are indigenous sons of Awolo, one of the 7 communities making up Obisi area in Awka South Constituency 2, while presenting the forms, called on the party leadership to consider the hard work of their late brother, Chief Chukwudi Okafor, popularly known as Amulonye Nego, for the party and compensate them with the ticket. Speaking through some of their leaders, including Chief Christopher Ndubisi, Emmanuel Ndubisi, Boniface Ilebunam, Walter Nwozo, Emma Enwelum, among others, said they decided to purchase the form for their brother because they want him to represent them at the Federal House, especially as they know his capabilities. The group also said they chose Chief Ekwozo because he had shown brotherhood in action and they want to return the love with solidarity and promised to support him all through the journey.
So I want to thank each and every one of you. That solidarity, which have been our motto, showing him that Onyaga na Nwanne, which have been what Ndomaolo is known for.
Chief Ekwozo thanked the group for the gesture, which he said has given him courage to forge ahead in fulfilling his dreams. He described the gesture as a divine mandate, saying he had planned on beckoning some of them to accompany him return his forms, but God put it in their hearts to surprise him with the form. Chief Ekwozo assured them that they will not have any cause to regret contributing to actualizing his aspiration and promised them better representation, just as he reminded them that the journey has just begun and would require their support all the way.
Words cannot express how happy I felt since the very day this mission was initiated and now being actualized. This very particular mission that's being actualized today is divine.
The Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, the Most Reverend Paulinus Ezukafo, has commended the media for remaining the conscience of the society. Most Reverend Ezukafo made the commendation in his office at the St. Patrick's Cathedral, Awka, when executive members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Anambra State Council, paid him a familiarization visit. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Okoye filed on this report.
Most Reverend Ezokafo said the NUJ ability to stay its wheel of development after its elections without allowing bitterness and rancor to fester should be emulated by contemporary politicians. Most Reverend Ezokafo further commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo for nominating young people to serve as commissioners in his cabinet.
Because I really appreciate what people are doing. Thank you. And as I always say, because you are the mouthpiece of the people, you make the people know what is going on and they help them. And I know people suffer out of ignorance or lack of knowledge of what they should know.
Earlier in his speech, the state chairman of the NUJ, Dr. Odogu Emeka Odogu, lauded Bishop Ezokafo for always practicing what he preaches, being a father to all and for not segregating against people based on their religion affiliation. Dr. Odogu asked other religious leaders to emulate Bishop Ezokafo as he remains outspoken against ills in the society. He explained that the visit was aimed at sustaining the relationship between the union and the church in order to continue to make the society a better place.
Everybody takes the special interest and care you take with the old priest. We want to thank you on that, and we want to equally thank you on the special interest you have taken on the less privileged and the poor. You have always taken good care of them, and I know by Easter Saturday you are going to do another wonderful thing for them. You have equally extended your warmth to those in the Oju River Leprosy Center, yes, and so many other areas. You have been wonderful. You have done so many things, and we want to appreciate you on that.
Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The Building Material International Market in Kwalogidi has promised to redouble its patronage on the Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, to never maintain the lead in the media industry. The president, Building Material International Market Association, Kwalogidi, Chief Jude Wankwo, made the promise when the ABS Acting Managing Director, Mr. Gabe Opaleze, in company of some members of the ABS Revenue Think Tank Group, paid him a familiarization visit in his office at the markets. Correspondent Emmanuel Ukonkwo tells us more.
Chief Wankwo, who commended the ABS on various improvements recorded in recent times under the leadership of the former Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the ABS, Dr. Uchenwora, and the President, Mr. Opaleze, noted that they have made the station the envy of other media organizations across Nigeria and assured that the Ogidi Building Material Market will redouble its support and patronage. He pointed out that confirming Mr. Opaleze as the Managing Director of the ABS will be the best decision that the Professor Chukwuma Soludo-led administration will make for the station, as according to him, Mr. Opaleze had been groomed in the system and knows the nitty-gritty of broadcasting profession, and as such should be allowed to prove his mettle.
I commend the special this step we take.
Speaking earlier, Mr. Opaleze, while describing Building Material International Market, Nkwelo Ogidi, as one of the major customers of the ABS, said with the support of the traders and market leadership, the ABS will improve more on its productions and programs. He called on organizations well-meaning in the Anambra and friends of the ABS to support the station with their advertisements and news coverages to enable the station to serve the public better.
Of our coming is to, as brothers, as partners in progress, to first and foremost thank our major stakeholders. We consider the building materials market as a major stakeholder in Anambra Broadcasting Service. Not only the market itself, but you as the leader, our customers. Tell them what is happening and the good story of ABS. ABS is a success story today, by the grace of God, and it is successful because people like you are patronizing us.
In their remarks, the head of station, ABS Onitsha, Lady Ifoma Udechukwu, and the head content monitoring, news and programs of the ABS, Mr. Abuchinwozo, while commending the incumbent leadership of the market for remaining friendly, expressed hope that the relationship will be sustained for improved productivity and service to humanity.
In the morning, I've been very, very happy. And I put a gift, and I got a chance. anyị na-agawa n'ihu more and more. Ihe niile ha anyị kwere gị nkwa dịka ndị anyị gwara anyị ga-emechasị ya tije anyị makpuru. So Chinde ana m ekene gị. Chukwu gọzie gị. Ị ga-achịka nka n'aha Jizọs.
Other members of the ABS Revenue Think Tank group present during the visit were Mr. Lambert Eze and Lady Franca Ononuju. From Building Material International Market in Kwelogidi, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria has apologized for the power outage at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos. The apology was contained in a statement by FAN's Acting General Manager, Corporate Affairs Faithful Hope Ibaze. Reports said that many passengers were stranded over power outage at the departure lounge of the Murtala Muhammed International Airport. The statement read, FAN wishes to apologize to passengers and other airport users that witnessed a temporary power outage at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos on April 1, 2022. The outage, which was as a result of rain that came with very fierce winds and storms, a natural occurrence, affected one of the feeders and consequently resulted in the temporary disruption of power supply at the D wing of the airport. Reports say that 3 Palestinian militants have been killed in a gun battle with Israeli security forces near Jenin in the occupied West Bank. According to the reports, the Palestinians were on their way to carry out an attack in a car on Friday night, and they fired on a counter-terrorism unit that was trying to arrest them. 4 Israeli troops were wounded in the ensuing clash, one of them seriously. The violence has come in the run-up to a sensitive time when religious holidays will overlap for Muslims, Jews and Christians. The Israeli military said the soldiers opened fire when a suspect threw a Molotov cocktail at them during the riots. The Israeli military said the soldiers came under fire in Jenin as they arrested 3 people suspected of involvement in an attack by a Palestinian gunman in the Tel Aviv suburb of Bnei Barak. It was all testimonies of a life well spent in humility, service of humanity, and worship of God during the burial of late Ichie Edward Okeke at Nogo, Junakofia local government area. Correspondent Kere Chukwudi tells us more.
Ichie Okeke, widely known as Ozocha Nogo, died at the age of 96 and was a beneficiary of early education who went on to become a teacher afterwards, starting his teaching career in 1945 and retiring in 1984. He was also an ardent Catholic who since after his baptism in 1938 has remained a strong member of the church. In his homily during the Requiem Mass held in his compound at Ifitora Nogo, the Catholic Bishop of Oka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo, thanked God for the life of late Ichie Okeke as he lived an exemplary and fulfilled life, urging Christians to live a worthy life rooted in God's way and teachings. Speaking after the interment of his father, his eldest son, Mr. Ikechukwu Okeke, explained that his father, being a teacher, helped him in his academic pursuits, especially in dealing with difficult subjects as mathematics, and was a homely man who taught him living skills.
Zoal isn't on what a family is foremost. Respect family. My dad always say number one that if you fear in fighting for what is yours, it is not yours. So you should not be afraid in fighting for what is yours. And the other husband do that now, easy afakego, easy afakego.
Other family members who spoke, including another of his son, Mr. Michael Okeke, his daughter, Ngozika Nwoji, and a daughter-in-law, Mrs. Agatha Okeke, all described the departed as a kind, peaceful, and godly man who they learnt a lot from his life, and he will be missed dearly. The traditional ruler of Nogu, Igwe George Oka Onwogu, who was part of the burial ceremony, noted that the late Ichie Okeke was his oldest cabinet member, who was truthful, godly, maintained a simple lifestyle all his life, and a wonderful advisor whose services will be missed.
And they live a simple life and tell the whole world the truth always. That's why I like it. In fact, the best I have. And before I get another issue like it will take time. So it was a great loss, not only to Igwe and Council, but to me in particular, as Igwe. Because somebody that is 96 years, he has been my advisor in everything, both traditionally and socially. Anything you ask him a question, he will start from the beginning to the end.
Those who came to condole with the family, including member representing Dunukofia at the State House of Assembly, Honorable Lawrence Ezodo, and a youth leader from the community, Mr. Augustine Onyemobi, said it is no doubt that the late Ichie was a good man and urged his family to take solace in the good life he lived and keep his legacies alive. From Nogu, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
Do remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television or follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. To end the breakfast news this morning, a quick recap of the main points. Governor Soludo has inspected ongoing waste evacuation exercise in Onitsha, Owaru. Awolu brothers have bought House of Representatives forms for Chief Iwozo. FAN has apologized for power outage at Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. And from the international scene, we brought you the reports that Israeli forces have killed 3 Palestinians in West Bank clash. Here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come up for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the breakfast news at this time on ABS Television. Thanks for watching. My name is Priska Wonko. Good morning and have a happy Sunday.
This is ABS, Heartbeat of the East.